This is Kwafi Nino. I thank you for clicking here. You make the difference in who I am as a content creator. If you'd like to, please like, share, and subscribe. This is a story about a young, inexperienced white woman who came into the Black Manosphere with a plan to destruct and destroy with regurgitated game talking points of the late Kevin Samuels.
This is a special edition of Getting Black Women in Order with Kwafi Nino.
Black women will not take instruction from black man like a G, and that's the reason why we are where we are. We had to bring in the big guns, Big Pearl.
Wow. Now you getting it by being a savior to white women.
And I'm going to save that white woman. She's going to save me all the way to the bank.
Just Pearlie Thangz. She has convinced the Black Manosphere she's on YouTube to hold black women accountable and help black men get black women in order.
Oh, Miss Pearlie, honey child, did you ring?
There should be absolutely no surprise that all over black YouTube that these things are now happening, where white racists or individual racist anti-black hate groups and collectively the trolls and plants are becoming more common to invade online black spaces, which prepares for the elimination of the black race. Even in the real world, where black people are building on a positive note and trying to make a difference and part from the dysfunction that helps feed white supremacy. The Black Manosphere has yet to master the art of identifying the problems in their online community and organization because there is no structure.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at on the screen is the YouTube streets. There's been a lot of talk on the YouTube streets around Pearlie Thangz, or just Pearlie Thangz, whatever the hell we call it. You see, a lot of Negroes on YouTube have decided to jump out the window and defend this Karen. This is a YouTube Karen. She got caught on there with Nick Fuentes, who's a known white supremacist, and then she wants to act like, oh gosh, oh me, I didn't know what I was doing. And we got Negroes all over YouTube making excuses, because why are you making excuses for her? I'll tell you why you're making excuses for her: because she's white and she says so. You're making excuses because she's a white woman. If this was a black woman that was doing ratchet stuff on these YouTube streets, everybody will be calling that black person out. And you know why we'll jump on each other more than we'll jump on our enemies? Because we don't like each other. That's why Negroes will get up on a stream like yesterday, and I'm gonna call that out, and they're doing interference for her. Every Negro was polite over there on I'm calling it out. I know you're out there, Obsidian. You was running interference for this Karen, and you had Negroes on the panel that was running interference for her, making excuses for your white mama. You're looking at a woman who is 27 or 26 years old. Why are we taking advice? Why are black men who said that Kevin Samuels was their leader, and then you go from a Kevin Samuels, the high value man, to now you're following the words of a 27-year-old or 26-year-old white woman from middle America, volleyball scholarship, came from the lick of white privilege, has nothing to do with our culture, nothing to do with our people, has no true understanding, has had no struggle in her life, and we're following suit with her. And then we get all surprised because she gets up there and says, black people have just exaggerated our history when it comes to slavery. And does it to boot with a white supremacist. Then later on, I find out that, she doesn't like the idea of reparations. So you're hiring black people, you're claiming you have some understanding of our black people, and you're saying, oh, I'm not for reparations. Then when she got up on the panel yesterday on Obsidian's show, she was acting naive when there were black men who had the courage amongst the ones that were raccooning over there. The ones that did have the courage to kind of like give her pushback. Let me say shout out to my man, Super Sly 75. He came up there and gave poignant statements. Why are we following a white woman who has had no experience? This woman hasn't been married, has no kids, has no background record of marriage, and she's giving black people on her podcast advice on relationships. And that's the only way she can make her podcast pop. Because you know, anytime you put black people in something, it's gonna pop. Black men, black women out there that supported this woman, y'all fell in line with this white woman as your spokesperson about your relationship. We're always putting people who don't look like us in our community in our damn business. That's a damn shame.
There are quite a few channels in the black YouTube spaces that are blinded by the innocent white girl, friendly, feminine, and fit effect, and will allow them on their panels in the middle of discussions concerning the dysfunction of black people.
Are you welcome? When I say you are welcome, I don't say that lightly. I don't welcome that which is a detriment to me. If you look different from me, you must prove your worthiness to me. If I cannot recognize what your intentions are, I do not welcome you. When it comes to the Black Manosphere, the welcome mat is short. If you don't look like you should be able to cross that mat, you cannot. So to the participants, the purveyors, and the people who contribute to the Black Manosphere, I say thank you, and I will continue to keep that welcome mat short.
The Black Manosphere was designed for black men only.
Then why are strange and deceiving white women showing up in our spaces, Dad?
This has happened on several occasions in the Black Manosphere, which its sole purpose was to give black men a meeting space of their own to talk amongst one another about their issues and problems that have affected them in society and how to overcome them. The main gripes are bad marriages, the after effect of divorce monetarily, the child support system, and the battling in court proceedings back and forth, child custody, so that they may gain rights, to have access equally to their children, so that they can stay present in their lives.
Oh, these crazy bitches are so stupid.
Upon my investigation, she is FBI watch listed for being suspected of harassment for a political gain with a white nationalist cult-like following on several social media platforms, including her various trolling YouTube channels and fake accounts since 2019, insurrection style by claiming to be an anti-feminist.
This woman has been warned by YouTube content creators, the YouTube headquarters cybersecurity unit, about the misuse of original content by airing content on her channel as a case study, with a political and militia agenda to start a race war. When confronted, she plays the victim and turns into a whole Karen and lies, specifically on black male content creators, saying they are bothering and harassing her. This is a threat to black men. She is knowingly and willfully, with ill intent, to deceive and disrupt black life and black online organizations.
Karenism 101. White women in particular throughout history has taken on this behavior to say someone black is attacking them when confronted about their bad behavior, disrespect, or loss of control and white privilege. The lies and after effects have caused the deaths of many black men in America.
Those boys tried to attack me. Help! Help me! Somebody! Help me! It was a nigga.
Just like Pearlie, this woman has tried to infiltrate black YouTube spaces and insert herself into the black manosphere. Her actions violate YouTube community guidelines and is used to support her evil agenda by and through her harassment tactics and her cult-like following.
Hello, Jara. How are you? Same page, dude.
In 1923, Frances Fannie Taylor lied about being attacked by a black man to cover up having an affair with another white man who had bruised her. This lie caused a race war, the hunting, the killing of many black people, and burned down their entire town of Roseville, Florida by the KKK. In 1955, 14-year-old Emmett Till was hunted down and brutally murdered when Carolyn Bryant lied that he whistled at her and did not confess she had lied until her eldest years before dying in 2023. Also in 1955, Clinton Melton, a black man who was shot in the head and killed where he worked in Mississippi just 3 months after Emmett Till by Elmer Otis Kimball, a close friend of J.W. Milam, who had accompanied him in the abduction of Emmett Till. He accused Melton of pumping more gas than he'd asked for. He threatened Melton and shouted, "Don't be here when I get back," before driving off. The white station owner told Melton to go home, but before he could, Kimball returned with a shotgun. He shot Melton once in the hand and once in the head. Almost a year later, in March 1956, Beulah Melton, the wife of Clinton Melton, was run off the road by the KKK, causing her to crash into the Black Bayou River just before her husband's murder trial. In modern day, since 2018 through 2023, racist white men remain the masterminds and organizers behind hate groups, deadly malicious crimes, and sophisticated strategies coercing their white female members to organize these attacks because they are not as noticeable. They are recruiting people outside of America to move to the United States to join in or join online wherever they are. This is why online hate crimes and globally in the real world are being investigated to the fullest extent of the law to catch these terroristic acts in the making.
Shout out to Mrs. Queen Sunkissed. She says, "We are the true leaders of the community. This is the reason men hold us to a higher standard than they hold themselves. They will SBE us at our best and worst. It's the price of a leadership."
Okay, just wanna tune my energy good, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to this situation with the Black Manosphere and the so-called just Pearlie Thangz, this is some really interesting stuff. First and foremost, I find it real interesting that the face of the Black Manosphere is currently a white woman. It's kind of fizzing out now. But to go anywhere and not see this woman's face all over places where you would normally consume Manosphere content, it's very interesting seeing her name everywhere. What's even more interesting is there are several women that have platforms that call certain behaviors about women to task, and these women look like the people that they're talking to or that this particular demographic is doing the most complaining about. There's a woman by the name of Six the Goddess. I had no idea about until all of this foolishness with this white woman, and I mean when she first entered into the space. That's when I find out about Six the Goddess, and that's very interesting to me because I'm not exactly sure why the Black Manosphere is hell-bent on finding some of the most low-level, for lack of a better term, white women to bring Black women to task. It's very embarrassing, and it attests to the fact of the complaints of the Black Manosphere about how the women won't submit and don't follow their leadership because it looks like y'all are trying to lead the women and their offspring to hell. There is no way you could possibly fathom that a woman barely in her mid-20s has enough life experience to be able to tell anybody anything. This woman does not have a stable relationship. This woman is not married, has not been married, and she doesn't have any children. She has no experience, no wisdom, or anything to offer anybody. The only thing she can offer is regurgitated information. It's doing nothing but parroting the things that you are saying and spitting them back out to you. This is embarrassing. This woman cannot bring Black women to task, and I keep saying that because this is the mindset and the ideas that is going around in the Manosphere. If these women are somehow superior to these women, why? Because of the color of their skin? That is a mental illness that's in the psyche. Y'all have your alabaster goddess let you know that no matter what you do, you still a porch monkey nigga on the minstrel show This is nonsense. There is nothing that this woman has to offer that she would be able to correct anyone. Yet you guys have put her up on a pedestal only for her to let you know, still nigga. And I don't want to sit up here and turn this into a male bashing session because the women do it too. Black women participate in white supremacy. But when we have black men using other races of women, in this case, a unexperienced young ass white girl as a weapon against black women, then who is really participating in white supremacy at that point? Didn't St. Samuel's tell y'all winter was coming? Well, winter came, and it was seen that for some of y'all, winter didn't leave, and you'll die alone. All hail the alabaster goddess.
A black queen doesn't run in packs of hyenas and wolves. She sets her table for those who are worthy of her presence. Worthy of her presence.
Real talk, there are women who are well respected by the black manosphere, and they don't represent the wolf, nor do they eat hyena food. You gotta know the difference between a lady versus the hyena and the wolf. Ain't that right, Sugar Bum?
We call them all out.
I just want to say that this don't really have nothing to do with black women. Honestly, Pearlie has nothing to do with us. Pearlie, this whole thing happens to do with the fact that black men think that she took their spot. It has, like Lee said, it's a loser's mentality. It has nothing to do with us. We just happen to be the discussion.
All right, family, stop up your ears. You might want to even just turn this off. You get what I'm saying? Because, your boy don't mess with nobody. I don't normally just go at nobody or try to disrespect nobody or any of that. But, this has to be addressed. So let's address it.
Did you hear that? It's the sounds of revenge. This is gonna be good.
Black Beauty definitely racist. Well, maybe the reason why I feel the way I feel is because sometimes I'm on the receiving end of that bullshit. When niggas is coming to my channel telling me I ain't black, when niggas is calling me a fucking Mexican, when niggas is saying, yo, Angry Man, you can't talk about that because you ain't black. Man, fuck you niggas.
Well, yo, we know you black though, Angry Man. What you talking about?
You're lying. You're lying.
Stop. You capping right there, bro.
Why would I want to dedicate my life to doing something where I can't even be myself?
Like, there's no trying. You just don't do it.
Stop faking.
The Angry Jerk. He's a light-skinned black man who hates being black, doesn't like dark skin, calls other black men and women apes, and then complains all over YouTube that people tells him that he's not black. This is a well-known tactic used by victims like him to play with identity issues for acceptance by other anti-black people. He often parades around YouTube with this same old song and dance that he's Latino and from New York. This dude is black only when convenient, when it benefits him. And most of the Latinos that I talk to, on YouTube that even frequents his channel just don't believe this. But to each his own, you can be whatever you want to be. First off, y'all go over there and subscribe to Israel Mills' channel. That's a decent brother. I was over there the day that this bullshit happened. I don't usually even address things like this because, for one, freedom of speech is freedom of speech, and people have their own opinions. What you think about Kwafi Nino is none of my damn business. I don't care about any of you or what you think about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, this is what happened. I'm in the chat talking to another brother, as I do. I'm a chat person. He decided that he was going to jump off the panel and jump into the conversation and make the show about him, as he normally do. The problem is, Angry Man, you got an issue with anybody addressing anything that you don't like, and then you try to make it about you. The show was not about you, bro. The show was about just Pearlie Thangz, which is really just nothing things. The bitch that you caping for. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Some of us are not doing that. And for you to be the leader of your sector of the Black Manosphere, bro, you're a poor example of it.
In the position that she's in, and she's profiting off of people, but yet and still she's not pouring back into the Black community. She is caping and trying to bring in Africans into the community instead of pouring into the community that's supporting her. That's the main issue.
Can I address something real quick?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Angry Man.
Can I address something real quick?
Yes, sir.
So Narratives and Dialogue said, I'm sorry, brother. Just because you're thinking no one else should say anything doesn't mean it is law. I'm not saying that you shouldn't say anything, but what I'm saying is you should make a correct assessment about it and not make an assessment based upon your own racial bias. That's what I'm saying. Then you said these are not the MLK days where you just kept quiet. First of all, there was never a time in history where Black folks just kept quiet. That shows how much you know about history. So before you try to check me on history, you might want to actually pick up a fucking book and learn history. Black people have never been quiet. Black people have always pushed back against white folk. So don't come in here talking that crazy shit to me. Just like I said on my show earlier today, I actually was FOI. I actually joined a Black organization that was for the betterment of Black people. What organization do you belong to? So here's the thing. When grown folks is talking, shut the fuck up.
He says, I need to pick up a history book, yet he's fake, self-sabotaging. He's a victim dude without a mind, style, nor a heart of his own. What a way to be. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. After verifying through some reliable sources that Manuel Dudley, aka Man One Dudley, is not a part of the Nation of Islam, I've come to realize that this man is just strictly a liar. Say we just give this clown the benefit of the doubt and say he took his shahada in the county jail or maybe even in the prison system. Maybe the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan can verify this, See, you want niggas to tell you what you want to hear, but you ain't gonna get it here, bro. you definitely ain't gonna get it here. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about Black men empowerment, but when you find one dude like yourself, there's always the problem. There's always raccooning, along with the acrobat clowns, because we got a whole bunch of them in here. See, the Manosphere is never gonna get back to where it used to be unless they weed you niggas out. And that's the whole point. This is why we got all this shit that's going on where you got these strange ass white folks coming up on the panel. I ain't against no white folks. And I'm not goddamn just strictly pro-Black, but I am for my people. You get what I'm saying? So y'all sitting around talking about y'all ain't Black. Y'all asking, what is Black? The community and all that kind of bullshit. But y'all never ask these motherfuckers, what is white? What is clear? And you never hold them accountable for their bad behavior.
I particularly I didn't even get that far. I'll be honest with you. Where she lost me at was she lost me with the whole thing of, oh, I have Africans. Like she owns some people, like she owns Africans. And the fact that she made it seem like, number one, Africans were better than African Americans. Number two, that she wants to appropriate her Africans into America so that they could take over basically. And that, you know what I'm saying, get her African citizenship. So that particular part of the conversation is where I personally had an issue and a problem with. All right. What up, Prime? What's good with you, family?
What's up, y'all? I just got a question. I'm not trying to veer off the Italian topic, but what makes someone a Black American?
Oh, come on. I mean, yo, Prime, we can't have that. Well,
no, just a quick question. I'm not
okay.
Trying to,
I know, but listen, we just saying that as a point of reference, just for people
born here, lineage born here.
We're not going deep into that because that's gonna take us way off the. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. I wasn't talking about the whole. I'm not getting into the whole FBA 806 thing. I just mean
right, yeah.
No. I know. I'm not Tyreek's fan page. There's not gonna be a Tyreek comment section on that. I'm just saying, our people. We're gonna make sure she stay out of our spaces. You know, she comes in our spaces. She eats out of us and everything. And I said it's in different panels, and no one understands this. Why we're calling her culture vultures? Okay. We're calling white people culture vultures, eating out of us, like eating off from us. What does that mean? What does that mean, culture vulture?
What does it mean to be a culture vulture?
So culture vulture.
A culture vulture is someone who comes into the community, appropriates the customs, the ways of the community or community, if you will, and then they monetize it and they sell it. And they're the ones that benefit and profit off of it, while the people that's in the community, so-called community, have no kind of profiting going on.
She doesn't do that.
So
what do you mean?
No, check this out.
Help me understand how you felt.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. One mic. Moy, go ahead. What are you saying?
I was saying she has all types of people on her show, and it's not like herself. She doesn't try to be quote unquote black or dress black or these different things. How would she be like culture vulturing?
Okay, so okay. You don't have to dress black. You don't have to dress black. Hold on, Dub. You don't have to dress black, and you don't have to act black in order to be a culture vulture.
Yo, I was on the same page and reading from the same book as the host Israel Mills. Listening in the chat to the show besides being a subscriber, yet approached by Angry Man while speaking to someone else about Moy Freestyle Life's comment he made on the panel, who thought I should shut up. And again, this had absolutely nothing to do with him. Y'all sit right there in front of a dangerous crowd and do all this shit that causes problems and friction. And this is why they decide that they're going to be able to come into our spaces and continue to disrespect. You get what I'm saying? We can debate the slavery shit. We can debate a whole lot of other things. You get what I'm saying? But to just sit up there and act like nothing is happening just to sell yourself out. How much can a nigga like you get for his soul? Apparently nothing. You and the rest of these niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let that be. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. You can make as many strings as you want to. I don't care. But I will tell you this, bro. You need to find peace with yourself. You ain't got peace with yourself. Because anybody can see it. And it's sad that the people that's around you see that you self-sabotaging. I just don't get it. This brother is just really lost. There's a problem. You know, he's a really fucked up individual. He's narcissistic, wounded psychologically, has a loud mouth behind the mic, often delusional in his imagery for YouTube. He's a pathological hater with jealousy in reverse. He's a clout chaser for press, the cameras, lights, action, and fame at any given time. And he can often be found grifting at all costs with no community work to show for it, all over YouTube. Upon my strongest belief, I do believe that this brother suffers from self-identity issues. Usually, a person like this, whose emotions are extremely out of order, is addicted to pain, delusions, and negativity brought on by past trauma in order to cope with his present-day realities revolving, and oftentimes relieved when others suffer and waddle in sorrow with them. It is hard for them to focus on anything positive, have a conversation with others unless they agree with them, or respect opinions without rebutting and disrespect. These identity issues come with race, childhood background, and anger with multiple changing personalities that cannot be trusted. I say this with brotherly love. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate you, but somebody need to put you in your motherfucking place. Somebody around you need to tell you the truth. And that's the whole point. See, because I'm not with all this back and forth. This is something I don't do. I don't fight black men. I don't get up and do the same shit that y'all don't want women to do to y'all, and y'all doing it to each other. And that's the problem in the black manosphere. This is how this bitch finessed y'all.
Okay.
Let me just say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the haters, go ahead and get your little record button ready.
Uh-oh. Are y'all gonna try to boot Angry Man? What's going on? Go ahead, Angry Man.
Because I'm gonna say this shit, and it's gonna be the realest shit I've ever said on these platforms. And you're gonna disagree with it, but it's the fucking truth.
Forever.
All you niggas that's calling Pearlie saying, all you niggas is saying, oh, Angry Man, yo queen, and this, that, and the third, and all you niggas is saying, oh, she conquered the manosphere and this, that, and the third. Well, here's the fucking reality. If you would have fucking gave me the crown a long time ago, you wouldn't have this fucking problem.
Would you please stop the whining?
Address me properly, nigga. You didn't even know who you was talking to. I've been on a panel with you several times. When we was over on the Book of Romans and the Bishop's channel, crying about you not being the king and that Kevin Samuels took from you and that the whole world is against you. When are you ever going to stand up and say that you're the person that's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Because normally you're always talking about what somebody is doing to you. Somebody's hating on you. Nobody ain't paying your fat ass no attention, nigga. It's always somebody doing something to you and you ain't did nothing. I just had to let loose off on this because you get a nigga like him and decide that he want to talk all kind of shit and you gonna tell me that I need to pick up a history book, nigga, an educated nigga 4 times? You know what I'm saying? And belong to a historical HBCU D9 organization. So don't you ever address me on that level. I'm all about my community work. I'm all about black men and black boys, nigga. 1978 must have been a very hard year for Mr. Dudley coming into this world to be validated. Thank God that YouTube has done that. Let's pray that he finds peace. I'll be watching his behavior right along with you guys through Baller X on 2.0. This will be my last time addressing this issue about Angry Man. Mr. Kwafi Nino. Mr. Kwafi Nino. Mr. Kwafi Nino. Mr. Kwafi Nino. And for the brothers, if you care about your channels out there, you know what I'm saying? Stop letting this clown come up on your panels. You get what I'm saying? Because he take the value down of your channel if you really have a mission.
This segment was brought to you by the letter